This message is for Roger Federer and Mirka and your family and all your fans around the world. It's Easter time 2020, and I'm filming this in Zurich, Switzerland. I have a gift for you, Roger. It's a token of me, something that will help you with your legacy to inspire more people to realize their value and their potential and their dreams. I've been planning on reaching you after I had a prototype, but well, now is the right time for a couple reasons. One is I have an investor who's ready to fund this project, and secondly, well, with this global pause going on and being home and reflecting, and not being able to go out very much or to do as many things, I don't know when my next haircut's going to be, so I wanted to film this before I look like a hippie. Now, actually, there's a far more important reason why now is the right time. You see, with everyone at home and connecting with themselves and with what it is that they really care about, some interesting things are happening. We're noticing that it's not the things that make us happy or that we value as much. It's the intangibles, the feelings of feeling secure and safe and at peace or hopeful, and being free to go out and play and connect with others and do what we love to do, and just love and appreciation. All of these intangible feelings are actually more valuable, and more people than ever before are recognizing this as they sit home and think about what it is that matters. And so this is a great time. It's the best time to connect with you and anyone who resonates with the values of you. We have new technology now that lets us store anything of value in a token using the blockchain and share those with each other directly without any intermediaries. So the time is right, and when we get to go out and play again and reconnect, this is the time to share what it is that these inventions are about. Because after all, what is it that we value the most? Well, the answer and the solution was inspired by you, Roger, while focusing on you and what it is that makes you so valuable, helped me to discover these inventions and how anyone could realize their value too. It all started with a calling. Roger that. It all started on May 12th, 2018. I was on vacation with my wife in Südtirol, Italy, and we were in the sauna, relaxing and resting, and I was meditating, and all of a sudden I heard very loud and clear, "Roger that," and it repeated itself. And I thought, who thought that? Because I didn't know what it meant. So I was surprised, because why would I be thinking something I don't even know what it means? And at the same time, it felt so good. Like my whole body just felt like joy and love and appreciation and peace. And I felt so uplifted. I thought, wow, well, whatever it is, it's got a good feeling. So I should figure out what it means. And when I looked it up, it turns out Roger That is an acronym. It stands for Received, Order Given, Expect Results. Well, of course, the next question was, well, what order did I give? And what results should I expect? And I immediately had an incredibly inspiring vision of you, Roger, when you won the Australian Open a few years ago. And you were thanking your fans and Chilik and his team and then your team, and you said, "I love you," and you just overjoyed with love and appreciation and started crying. And it was so inspiring and so uplifting. And I thought, wow, I want to bottle that up, because that was such a beautiful, graceful state. It was like a human at his best. And, the calling told me that was what the calling was about, was bottling that up, that intangible value of a person like you at your best. That's what we all want, because when you're there, your appreciation level goes through the roof. and you just want everyone else to feel good too. So it's a win-win state.
And my team, I love you guys. Thank you.
And it's so uplifting and so empowering that, yeah, that is worth a lot. And in fact, that's probably when we're all worth the most. So it's no surprise to me that you're one of the most valuable persons on earth, because you figured out how to do this somehow. And we all would love it, because that's when we feel our inner joy and our inner fulfillment, and we do what we love, and we love others, and we have more to give. It's what makes us feel abundant and want to share it with other people. So I was studying, now how could I do this? And I had to study you and focus on what it is that you value. Now I knew it wasn't really about you, but you were the inspiration. And so I knew you were sort of the key to this puzzle. And if I could figure you out, I'd be able to realize, these inventions. And so as I focused on you, I found myself looking at the RF Foundation and what it is that you value. And one night I was thinking hard about the solution that you're looking for these kids in Africa. You want them to have, the basics met, as well as education and good support and teachers and access to higher education and the world and to themselves, and ultimately to realize their potential and self-actualize. That's what you really want. And when they do, well, then they won't need you anymore. And that's actually what you both want, is to not need each other, because that's not very empowering. They and you really want them to discover their power and their value, to realize their potential and their dreams. And so with that, I thought, wow, okay. I asked the universe, if you could show me how to do that, then I'll do it. And then that night I went to sleep, and the next day, it was June 8th, Friday, 2018. I was sitting at my desk at work, not thinking about any of this, and all of a sudden, at exactly 11:11, I received a beautiful solution, a solution that would inspire you and anyone that cares about you how to realize their value in a more powerful way, how you, Roger, could actually share your inner value with others in a more impactful way. What I discovered is we are the value. We all have infinite potential, and it's just waiting for a way to tap into it and bring it to the surface and realize it and discover really the value inside, and a way to mine ourselves. And so since then, I've received numerous inventions on how to measure anyone at their best, at peak performance, when you're in the flow. Flow is a state of peak performance. It's where athletes win matches and break records, and where musicians write their hit songs, and inventors and scientists get their breakthroughs. It's a state of tremendous value. It's where you have clarity and purpose and passion, and where you're the most efficient and productive and creative. It's really an incredibly valuable state, because not only are you a winner, but you have a win-win mindset. And so your solutions have tremendous value to everyone else. Your level of appreciation and compassion goes up. And so even at a distance, you can positively uplift and influence others. Here's how the application might look like for someone like you, Roger. So flow sensors might come in the form of a necklace or earrings, or even a ring or a wristband, or your clothes, even your shoes. Or in your case, Roger, it might even be built right into the handle of your tennis racket. And so the first thing we do is measure you for your flow state. Now, it might be while you're playing tennis, or really anytime. For others, it might be while they're meditating or running or loving. It's really an interesting application in and of itself, just to figure out how you get into a flow state. And so that's the first thing we do. And when you achieve that state for a long enough time, a token of you is created, a token of your inner value. And that's why we call it a token of me, because it's really your inner value, and that is the most valuable thing you have. And so when you figure out how to get into a flow, that is like mining yourself. And then you can take these tokens and start sharing them with others. So in your case, Roger, you might give them to the kids in Africa or your fans and tell them, hey, you could even inspire them to get into the flow themselves and say, hey, if you'll flow with me, I'll share myself with you. And this creates a win-win application for all players. You could even inspire your sponsors and say, hey guys, you're so good to me and I want to share my value with you in a more impactful way. So when I'm flowing as a result of using your tennis rackets or wearing your shoes or your clothes, I'm going to share myself with you, these tokens that are created when I'm flowing. And it's just my way of sharing my appreciation with you for helping me get into that valuable place. And then you go to your sponsors and say, hey guys, the world's different now, and I'd really like you to pay me in Rogers instead of Swiss francs or euros or dollars. Just say, look, I'm the value, and I'd like you to pay me, in my own tokens, because that's actually a representation of me when I'm at my best. And that creates a market for my tokens. And if you'll go buy them, then all my kids in Africa could sell them or fractions of them. And as my value goes up, it's my way of pulling them up with me. And so as the tide rises, all the boats float. So now, Roger, you have so much more influence to really use your value to share it with those you care about, inspire them to find their flow state and value too, and share yourselves with each other in a much more valuable way and a much more satisfying way. There are many others I wish to bring this to and have already made contact with, including will.i.am, who's an amazing musician in LA, and I'd like to bring this to On Running Shoes, which I know you love their shoes as well. One of the patents I have is to actually make the shoe help you get into a flow state more than anything else. So in the future, that sensation of running and getting into the zone is going to be a lot easier with an On Running shoe. And the reason why I'm interested in will.i.am is because he has an application for headsets, and we're going to be able to measure the listeners when they are in the flow. And in doing so, music is very inspiring and is a great way to get into the flow. And so tokens of you would be created when you're wearing a headset and listening to music and getting into a flow state. And there's a way now to actually reward the musician that you happen to be listening to when that flow state kicks in. So these are the kinds of partners I'm seeking. I'm really hoping that you will feel the call as well to join me and help me bring this out into the world. If you'll join me, Roger, we could reach a lot more people like you and inspire everyone to be their best. I hope to reach Bill Gates, one of your biggest fans, and also Lauren Powell Jobs, Steve's wife. Steve Jobs was a huge inspiration for me. I first met him in 1983 when he showed me the Macintosh. It changed my life. I knew that man could see the future, and I wanted to work with him and realize his dream too, and that was the power to be my best. And so he inspired me to study engineering and computer science, and I got hired by Apple Computer in 1989, and I got to design Ethernet, the very thing that the internet runs on. So by 1991, I had put Twisted Pair Ethernet on the motherboards for the first time. That was an amazing feeling, to feel my value and to add value. And it's because of someone like Steve and you that people like me, ordinary people, get inspired every day to be their best. And so if you'll join me, absolutely, we can, in a very tangible way, put this in the hands of more people to realize their value and share it with each other in a win-win way. So I hope you'll join me, Roger. Let's play ball. Let's show the world how to play in a win-win way and how to discover their value and realize their dreams. Roger that.